Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll explore the fascinating world of neural networks and challenge the prevailing narrative of the gut-brain axis. Have you ever questioned the dominance of the gut-brain axis and wondered about the true balance between the cranial brain and the nervus vasomotorus? In our exploration, we will delve into the shortcomings of the gut-brain axis, which describes yin without yang, disregarding the philosophy that symbolizes the dual nature of all things in the universe. We will specifically apply this philosophy to the relationship between the cranial brain and the nervus vasomotorus. In the abdomen, there exists a blockchain brain of wonderful powers. It presides over organic life. Its great functions are nutrition and visceral rhythm. In this abdominal brain are repeated all the physiological and pathological manifestations of nutrition and rhythm of viscera. It controls nourishment and secretion. It initiates, sustains, and prohibits rhythm. It receives sensations and transmits motion and motility of the viscera. Brain function is closely linked to oxygen and glucose levels and how efficiently the blood delivers this fuel source. Unfortunately, the brains and nerves are treated as if they are copper wires, needing nothing to keep them alive, much less properly functioning. A review of 100 neuropathy websites disgustingly revealed only 5 with a brief mention of oxygen or glucose, which was given little importance. The nervus vasomotorus, our decentralized blockchain network, represented by the abdominal brain, consists of multiple mini-brains, each functioning as a node in a blockchain network, capable of independent operation from the cranial brain. In contrast, the cranial brain represents the centralized network, relying on a single central server for major management and data processing functions. In the anatomy lab at Chiropractic College, I was thrilled by the remarkable ganglions running along both sides of the spinal vertebrae. Regrettably, these ganglions were never mentioned or discussed. It was only through my own research I found out these ganglions serve a pivotal role in controlling blood flow and volume, exerting segmental delivery of blood carrying oxygen and glucose for the well-being and functionality of various structures including the vertebrae bones, ligaments, discs, and the muscles responsible for vertebral movement. Moreover, their profound impact extends to the health and vitality of the nerve roots and the spinal cord by supplying them with oxygen and glucose, rendering them an indispensable component of the intricately interconnected spinal system. Neurology is explained by way of the gut-brain axis. Have you ever asked what the arrows on their diagram represent? Nerves? Blood? Meridians? The answer depends on the perspective of the one doing the description. The neurologic gut-brain axis explanations and descriptions fall apart with brain and spinal cord injuries. A pivot point in my functional medicine career occurred when a quadriplegic woman asked how she could have orgasms when she could not feel anything below her jaw. I was gobsmacked. Her husband assured me she experienced OMG orgasms. I asked a leading functional neurologist how a quadriplegic could have orgasms. His answer was, there is no way that can happen. It's all in her head. I asked what about all the internet articles asking the same question? Very few in healthcare or functional neurologists understand that those with a spinal cord injury with intact vagus nerve function lose voluntary control over urine and stool elimination. Paraplegics and quadriplegics must be catheterized for urine elimination and to prevent urine retention. In addition, they must be digitally stimulated for defecation. They must be on a urine and stool management program. I have to question the reasoning that if the vagus nerve controls everything, remaining intact in paraplegics and quadriplegics, how is it that they lose the ability to control when they pee and poop? I will defend this presupposition that the vagus nerve isn't all it is affirmed to be with one word. Diapers. When do people wear diapers? As infants, when the cranial brain which controls speech, movement, and coordination is underdeveloped. Until about the time children become efficient at walking and talking, they are able to voluntarily control when they pee and poop. As adults, when the cranial brain has deteriorated, usually with the onset of dementia or traumatic brain injury, they lose the ability to control urine and stool elimination. This breaks the paradigm espoused by brain-based healthcare providers. A person in a coma remains unconscious for an extended period, although they may continue to breathe independently. If the coma persists, it may progress to a state known as a persistent vegetative state. In this state, the organs of the body continue to function, and a woman's fertility is unaffected. It can be concluded that the brain is not necessary for the process of conceiving and carrying a baby. This understanding raises questions about the validity of the gut-brain axis and highlights the importance of re-evaluating its significance. It suggests that the nervus vasomotorus, which operates independently of the cranial brain, plays a vital role in controlling organ function. The evidence supports the notion that organ function can be regulated without direct involvement from the cranial brain. Join us as we explore the benefits and challenges of these neural networks and the risks associated with single points of failure. We'll also uncover the unique reliability of the nervus vasomotorus, with its multiple ganglia providing enhanced redundancy and independent functionality. While mapping the cranial brain is an established practice, we'll discuss the impossible challenge of mapping the complex network of the nervus vasomotorus. Whether you're a health enthusiast, a healthcare provider, or simply curious about the intricate workings of the NEI supersystem, this channel is tailored for you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Let's dive into the world of neural architectures together. A decentralized network architecture uses multiple servers in place of a single centralized server. Each of these servers can act as an independent master server, with the necessary workloads distributed across them for load balancing. If one server goes down, another server can take over its load to minimize network interruption. The nervus vasomotorus is a decentralized blockchain network that uses multiple ganglia in place of a single centralized brain. Each of these ganglions can act as an independent master server, with the necessary workloads distributed across them for load balancing. If one ganglion goes down, another ganglion can take over its load to minimize network interruption. A centralized network is built around a single, central server that handles all major management and data processing functions. Other types of servers may connect to this master server and manage other specific functions, but those other servers cannot work independently of the central server. The cranial brain functions as a master server. The central nervous system is built around the cranial brain master server, which is a single, central server that handles all major management and data processing functions. Other types of servers such as the nervus vasomotorus may connect to this master server and manage specific functions independently of the central master server. The cranial brain relies on a single central server or domain controller, which simplifies your network management but presents many limitations. A single master server presents a single point of failure on the network. If the master server goes down because of a bug or attack, or if you need to restart the server for maintenance, your entire network goes down. All your valuable and sensitive data is stored and accessible from one server in a centralized network, presenting a significant health risk. If hackers get into a single area of the cranial brain, they can access everything from that one location, rather than needing to jump to different systems and servers to find everything they want. This is why the cranial brain is so mapped out. Functional neurologists can see a definite cause and effect when an area of the cranial brain is taken away or damaged. Specific areas of the body become dysfunctional and/or unusable. The decentralized network of the nervus vasomotorus is controlled by a cluster of minibrains, also known as ganglions, that share the network load and provide redundancy if one ganglion goes down. This makes it impossible to map out the ganglion control areas of nervus vasomotorus blockchain network of ganglia. The decentralized blockchain network management of the nervus vasomotorus does not evenly or automatically split network loads among the cluster of master ganglia, but instead splits the load according to parameters specified by the network organization. There are fewer bottlenecks in a decentralized network because this model can split traffic among multiple ganglia, and those ganglia can also be deployed to support branch circulatory systems and organ centers. Decentralized networks are more reliable than centralized networks because multiple points must fail before multiple organ systems become dysfunctional. Brain injuries can occur due to various causes, including falls, road accidents, tumors, and strokes. Traumatic brain injury can be caused by collisions, assaults, falls, and accidents at home or work. When a brain injury occurs, it becomes a single point of failure within the central nervous system. If the cranial brain is affected by a bug or an attack, the entire network is impacted, leading to potential dysfunction. The perspective presented in this video emphasizes the concept of the abdominal brain as a network of interconnected mini-brains. The nervus vasomotorus plays a crucial role in receiving, reorganizing, and emitting nerve forces that affect the functioning of the visceral organs. This includes activities like rhythm, absorption, and secretion. The emission of nerve forces tends to prioritize organs with a higher concentration of nerve strands, such as the genitals, kidneys, heart, and stomach, while minimizing transmission to organs with fewer nerve strands. Now, let's examine the implications of these views on the subject of disease. Often, diseases affecting the visceral organs are preceded by disturbances in their rhythm, absorption, or secretion. These common functions of the visceral organs are regulated by the sympathetic ganglia, also known as the abdominal brain. Additionally, in the reproductive system, functions like ovulation, gestation, and menstruation must be considered. When it comes to diseases involving the sympathetic nerve, two main factors play a significant role: impaired nutrition and reflex actions, including viscerosomatic referred pain or disturbances. Notably, the female generative organs serve as a central point around which much of the abdominal sympathetic ganglia revolves. Any glitches in this system can result in defective tempo. The pathology of the sympathetic ganglia nerve is not as clearly understood as that of the cerebrospinal system. Reflex irritation and referred disturbances are particularly significant pathologies associated with the sympathetic ganglia. The abdominal and pelvic brain play a significant role in the body's functions and emotional well-being. The nervus vasomotorus is the seat of emotional disturbances. The abdominal brain and cervical sympathetic ganglia, with their great regions of reflex action, play a significant role in psychosomatic disorders and all emotional phenomena. Fear and fright are felt in the solar plexus, which lies behind the stomach, while sorrow and sadness are frequently first felt in the abdominal brain. Reflex irritation often originates from distant organs, although some suggest that violent emotions may also be a contributing factor, possibly related to underlying unidentified lesions. Another kind of pathology involving the sympathetic ganglia is secondary lesions resulting from portal hypertension and hepatic encephalopathy. Additionally, recognized and unrecognized lesions of the nervus vasomotorus ganglia can also contribute to pathology. While these fascinating and extensive pathological fields cannot be fully discussed here due to space constraints, they are worth mentioning. In humans, there exist two brains of almost equal importance to the individual. One is the cranial brain, the instrument of mental progress and physical protection; the other is the abdominal brain, the instrument of nutrition and visceral rhythm. To the casual observer, the cranial cerebrum seems to overshadow all other nervous centers. The cranial brain of humans, situated in the skull, is so manifest to the practitioner that it seems to do all the business of the nervous system. It is true that the knot of life is situated at the base of the cranial brain, and by one prick of a needle in the medulla, life may be quickly extinguished. The abdominal and pelvic brain play a significant role in the body's reflex action and emotional response. A blow or shock to these regions can lead to various physical and emotional symptoms, highlighting the importance of understanding the impact of shock and blows on the abdominal and pelvic brain. The independence of the grip of the nervus vasomotorus is seen in those with invisible illness and chronic non-resolving inflammation. All nerves depend wholly upon the arterial system for their nutrition and the quality of their function, such as sensation, signal transmission, and motion, even though by the law of reciprocity they furnish force for vasomotor control to the artery itself. Nerves control the diameter of the blood and lymph vessels, but they do not control what is flowing in the vessels. Neurons that demonstrate particular vulnerability to ischemic challenges have been termed selectively vulnerable neurons. Of the entire cranial brain, the neurons of the hippocampus are the most vulnerable. A derangement of the nervus vasomotorus destroys life as effectually, though not so quickly. It can take months or years. Trauma to the nervus vasomotorus may cause a slow death or produce symptoms that are supracute, acute, subacute, or chronic. Certain conditions may be attributed solely to disturbance of the nervus vasomotorus and not to general systemic derangement. Thank you for watching our video on the decentralized abdominal brain and the centralized cranial brain. We hope you found the information valuable and gained a better understanding of these network models. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more informative content like this. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll explore various aspects of the NEI supersystem and its impact on our daily lives. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.